Hello and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be talking about how to begin a new journal, how to choose the right journal for yourself, how to pick a pen you genuinely enjoy writing with, and how to start writing on that very first page. I'll also be showing you one of my first page journal entries. Now, this journal is not fancy, it's an art journal, it's kind of a sketchbook that I got recently from a stationery haul that I did in my earlier video. This is not a junk journal. This is specifically a journal that I've gotten because I want to write my thoughts and feelings, maybe morning pages, late night thoughts, and my emotions, and the little things that I want to let out on paper. Now, if you're looking for a junk journal inspiration video, I already have a junk journal video on this channel, and I'll link it below for you. And if you enjoy art journaling with drawing and painting, I also have an art journal video that you can check out later. This voiceover was recorded after I had already written in my journal because I wanted this process to feel natural and uninterrupted. I would love to eventually film myself journaling in real time, but honestly, I'm still getting comfortable with sharing my journal publicly. Journaling can feel very vulnerable because you're sharing your private thoughts, your emotions. At the same time, I also wanted to share this experience with you, so I thought recording pages and then doing a voiceover would feel easier and more comfortable. So let's begin. This is the journal that I will be writing in today. The very first step to start a journal is choosing a journal itself. The one that I'm using here is a $16 sketchbook. I specifically chose it because it has 140 GSM paper and around 80 sheets. I honestly don't know how long this journal will last me, but this is the first time I've picked up a bold red cover and I'm actually really excited about it. As I continue filling it up, I'll definitely come back and show you more pages from inside. Now, when choosing a journal, pick something that feels right for you. I also want to talk a little about budget because I know the internet can sometimes make journaling feel expensive. Everyone seems to be using beautiful Japanese notebooks or expensive journal brands, but if you're a beginner, investing in those journals can feel overwhelming. It can almost feel impossible to begin with. I actually started journaling back in India, and my journals were extremely affordable, sometimes just for a dollar or two. When I moved to Dubai, that's when I slowly started investing in more expensive journals. That was back in 2012, and it's been more than 10 years now. Even then, journals felt expensive, but when I moved to Canada, I realized eventually that what's my style of journal, how much do I actually want to invest in. So pick something that fits your budget. Now, when it comes to pens, I want to mention that these are the two pens that I picked up. Generally, I love writing with fountain pens, but this time, I don't know, this Pentel Energel zero point 0.7 pen, the brown ink is something I was drawn to. So, I chose that. Now, when it comes to journaling, think about how often you'll be using your journals and what you'll be using it for. Do you want to write deep thoughts and reflections? Then maybe line pages will feel more comfortable. If you like structure or feel more confident writing on a ruled paper, go for line journals. If you enjoy flexibility, maybe a dotted or a blank journal might work better for you. Personally, I love blank pages because they give me the freedom. I can write, sketch, doodle, make little notes, or just let my thoughts flow however they want to. Sometimes I carry my journal everywhere with me, to the library, to work, to a cafe, almost like an emotional support. So before I even begin writing in a new journal, I usually spend a few days simply carrying around the journal with me. Like this journal I'd gotten last week, and I've carried it everywhere in my bag just so that I get used to it before I start writing in it. Now, next comes the pen test. Now, in this journal, I'm trying out these Pentel pens, like I mentioned earlier. I specifically chose this brown ink because I associate that warm brown color with journaling and comfort. Sometimes, even choosing a pen that emotionally connects with you can feel can make you excited to write in your journal. So you don't have to write with a fountain pen or expensive pen because you see it everywhere. Choose whatever works for you. And I had this Leuchtturm pen holder from my earlier journals. As you see, it's already ripped apart, but I think I'm going to be using it. I want to put it maybe at the back of my journal so I can have like a pen holder, but then I know it'll leave a mark. So I'm just deciding here where I exactly want the pen holder to be. I've not stuck it yet, but I think with a double sided tape, this pen holder will really come in handy. Now, another thing that helps me setting journaling intention is, what is this journal meant for? This does not necessarily mean writing goals or productivity plan. It simply means asking yourself why I want to journal in this. Why do I want to journal? And why do I want this journal in my life right now? Like, what is the purpose of this journal? Why am I investing in it? Basically, just because I went for a stationery haul, or I went to a stationery shop and I got things for myself, is that the reason I want to start writing in this journal? So I am just going to spend some time in this journal thinking about exactly, why I want to use this journal and what is this journal for. For me, this journal represents a new chapter that I am entering in, and I want the space to hold that journey for me. Maybe your journal is for healing, creativity, documenting memories, or simply slowing down. You can also think practically. Will you be using your journal outdoors, indoors, at cafes, during travel? Will it stay beside your bed? Thinking about these little things can actually help you a lot when choosing the right journal for you, mostly because of the size, right? Like, do you want to carry it to work? Do you travel by transit? That can help you a lot choosing the size of your journal. Now, when it comes to the first page, I'm generally intimidated, writing it. Just the thought of the first page intimidates me a lot. So I generally use stencils, or I will, print out my name. Here I am using this letter set that I have. The first page can feel intimidating, but it really doesn't have to be perfect. You can start by writing your name, your favorite food, favorite color, favorite pen, favorite YouTube channel or show that you're currently watching, or that you enjoy, your all time favorite movie. Literally anything. You can decorate it or keep it simple. There are no rules. The more you write in your journal, the more you begin to understand what your journal is meant to hold for you. You slowly discover what kind of thoughts belong there, what emotions feel safe there, and how much space you want to give yourself on those pages. Now, one of the other things that I love doing is having a journal buddy. That's something which I call, it's basically body doubling. I'll put on a YouTube video or podcast, an audiobook, or even a comfort show in the background while I write. It makes journaling feel less lonely. Sometimes writing means sitting alone with your thoughts, and that can feel very overwhelming, especially if you're, getting into the habit of writing and you've never written before. This is your first journal, and you're so clueless and scared when you're sitting with your journal. But let me tell you, you're not alone. You don't have to be alone with your journal. I mean, yes, physically you are, right now alone in your room writing in your journal, but maybe having something play in the background can make it less intimidating for you. So hearing another voice in the background makes me feel comforted, almost like I'm journaling alongside someone else. A lot of the time, I'll even watch another journaling video while journaling myself, because it feels like I have someone with me. It feels like I have a friend with me, because in real life I genuinely don't have a friend who loves to journal or loves to talk about stationery as much as I enjoy talking about stationery. Like, I can talk about pens and journals and colors and crayons and crafting and scrapbooking and all sorts of creative things. I can talk about it for hours, but I don't unfortunately have someone who can talk about it for hours with me, or even, for an hour with me. So, what I found helpful in my journaling journey is to just put on a YouTube video, somebody else who loves talking about journals or stationery as much as I do, and play it in the background and, journal. Now, if this is your very first journal, I totally understand. You might not be as excited as a person who journals for many years. Don't worry about it. Just play your favorite podcast, your show, and begin your journal. Now, something which I am doing in this journal is I am picking some stickers to decorate the cover. So, this is something just to get the pressure off me of, constantly having to get used to having a red journal. Like I said, I don't know, there's something about red, it's very bold. I am somebody who loves a lilac, I love a butter yellow, like pastel shades. I love those colors. So picking a bright red journal for me was really bold. Here, I have also written my YouTube name. Earlier, my YouTube name was my name, but nobody could find it, and my parents, told me that they couldn't search for my name on YouTube when they wanted to subscribe to my channel. My sister told me that, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna change the name, and I felt like chasing inward just felt perfect for the the phase of life I am in right now. So instead of writing my name, I chose to write Chasing Inward as the first chapter, the first on the first page. And yeah, here I have picked out some stickers, and I'm just thinking about how I want to place them. Now, there's no reasoning, or there's no plan on how I'm planning to get these stickers. It's just basic stickers that I've picked up from Dollarama. They're for $1.25, and I got like lots of these stickers. I don't know how long they last or what's the quality on them, but honestly, I'm okay with using Dollarama supplies or dollar store supplies, because I don't know. I feel like I don't want to put the pressure or a tag or a brand when it comes to my journaling experience, right? Because see, here's something I want to be very honest and vulnerable with. And it's not an offensive thing for other YouTubers who journal, but for me, journaling over the years and journaling in different countries, I have realized that I don't have a standard set that I can buy. Like when I was in Dubai, I did not have the shops that I now have the access to in Canada. And maybe a girl watching from Indonesia or India or, I don't know, Australia might not have the supplies that I'm using in Canada. So I want to be very flexible when it comes to my journaling supplies. So, if you have a dollar store around you, just go to that dollar store and pick anything that you like. Pick your style. You don't have to, you know, stick to an aesthetic theme. Yes, aesthetic theme, and having these beautiful colors as you see on screen. You feel like, okay, I want to have the same, but comparing your journal to someone else's is definitely, you're going to set yourself up to failure. And don't be so stuck on the materials that you will be using. Pick anything that is available to you, anything that you can afford. Your journey with your journal is going to be more precious when you use that journal for writing your emotions, writing your thought, and being with that journal more than worrying about the brand of journal that you're using, the quality of stickers that you're using. Initially, I would recommend not to focus about on all of those things, and not to put yourself in a bracket that you only use this brand sticker or you only use this brand journal. Be flexible, be playful. This is a time in your journal where you're supposed to play, you're supposed to have fun with your journal. And the whole process and the whole experience of journaling is meant to be fun. It's meant to be special. So don't fixate on the supplies yet. Just enjoy the process when you begin writing in a new journal. So once I'm done with my journal cover, I will begin writing in this. Now, I don't know how good these stickers are, but for now, at least they look really pretty. So here's how I begin the first page in my journal. I pick a book that I am reading right now. So in the month of March, I think March and April, I was reading a book that I got from the library and I accidentally spilled coffee on it. Now, because I spilled coffee, of course, I had to pay the fine for ruining a library book, but I also got to keep the keep the book for myself. So, this is the book, the self talk workout that I spilled coffee on. So, I'm gonna take a book and I will flip through a page and pick a page and write about that page in my journal. So here's how the process works. I've taken this book and I'm flipping through uh, pages in the book. Now, whatever page, the first page, any page that I come across, I will read about what's written on that page. And I was really surprised to that I stumbled on this page. It's really beautiful. It's about failure. So I went and copy pasted that first para, not the entire page, but just the first para or the quote. Now, luckily, this was a quote that I came across. So in my journal, I am going to be, writing the date, and I will just copy paste the first para that I stumbled upon once I flipped through the book. And once I'm done writing that, I will write down how I feel about that quote or the page that I chose in the book. Now, before I read out what the quote was and what's my first journal entry, I also want to mention that I did carry this journal to the library. I love going to the library and sitting and writing there. So, maybe your first page need not be at home. Your first page can also be written in in your favorite place. Maybe you like going to a cafe. So you can take your journal to your coffee shop, your favorite coffee shop, and sit there and just write that you're in that coffee shop. But since I love being on my desk at my place, this is where I love to begin journaling. And the quote that I have picked for myself is fail forward or act before you think. It says fail early, fail often, fail forward. It's always a little bit frustrating to me when people have a negative relationship with failure. Failure is a massive part of being able to be successful. You gotta take a shot. You have to live at the edge of your capabilities. You've got to live where you're almost certain you're gonna fail. That's the reason for practice. Practice is controlled failure. You're getting to limit until you get to the point where all of a sudden your body makes the adjustment and then you can do it. Failure actually helps you recognize the areas where you need to evolve. So, fail early, fail often, fail forward. Now, here's what I have written about this quote in my journal as my first entry. I'm obviously scared to fail. The fear is to fail in public. First, the fear of putting myself out there and then to fail. Why even try? Why am I doing this to myself? Who cares? Sometimes I really think, what's the point of all of this? But then I know I don't have anyone like me doing this, talking about the things I love. Maybe that's why it's important. And regardless of if I succeed or fail, I'll at least know what I was like in May 2026 on a beautiful spring day in Calgary. what I was wearing, and what was whiskey doing. So I'll do it for the older version of me to keep her company. So maybe one day when she'll feel like she's losing in life or she's failing, maybe one day she'll flip through the pages of this little red journal she started in May 2026 and she'll realize something important, that even though she was scared, she still began. Even though she worried about being judged, misunderstood, or what other people might think of her, she still chose to try. And honestly, sometimes trying is the bravest thing you can do. That is everything from me for today's video. I truly hope this inspires you to stop waiting for the perfect moment, stop being afraid of the first page, and simply begin your journal. It doesn't have to look perfect, it just has to feel honest to you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today and for being here. I really appreciate every single one of you so much. I will see you in the next video very soon. Until then, take care and bye for now.